Foy.
You'd think there was an election on, wouldn't you? We're finishing early for some reason in the council meeting in April. And perhaps we can reflect on that a little bit, but I only get 5 minutes to do so. I think it's a shame about the last motion. The Lib Dem amendment raised some issues which the council still fails to deal with after 10 years of failing to deal with it. Now, on this motion, I'll talk first about the amendments and set out my thinking on the amendments. Just to say thank you to a couple of speakers for setting out their personal experiences. Councillor Brennan, you're always happy to tell us about your personal experiences, and I don't disagree with you. The benefit system is broken. The problem is the health system is also broken, the care system is broken, and this is going to load more onto all those systems. I may come back to that if I get a chance. In terms of the Labour amendment, we're going to vote against it. If it goes through, we'll vote for the amended motion because we want to get a coordinated view on the Council's response and support to this. But the reason we will vote against it is because it takes out the proposal for a city consultation. Now, that's a missed opportunity. I understand the argument there's a national consultation, but there's a big problem with a national consultation. It doesn't actually allow you to comment on the big thing, the main thing. So the main thing, it's a budget cut, and the main thing is that 80% of that budget cut comes from the change to the criteria to the PIP payments, and you're not allowed to comment on that change to the criteria. So a new avenue could be opened up, and we've got Be Heard. It doesn't cost the council a lot to open up a consultation on Be Heard, and alongside that, I would hope, if nothing else, that our city's MPs would be concerned about this. As has been indicated, there's probably a lot of discussions within the Labour Party in Parliament about their response to it, but you'd hope that our city's MPs would at least be concerned that a consultation which enables people to tell their whole story and the full story of the impact on them would assist our MPs in their response to it. So we're going to vote against that amendment, but for that simple reason. The Conservative amendment, I'm happy to agree to. I don't know if Council Chamber will or not. It raises one particular issue around support. It doesn't mean I'm agreeing with the Conservative speakers. I would say, Councillor Moore, that references to Rachel from a councillor derogatory, and I don't support those. She's actually one of the best qualified people we've had in that post for quite a long time. Doesn't mean that she's any good at it, but she's actually is actually quite well qualified, even if her CV was embellished a little bit. So similarly, I'm glad you were positive in your response, if you like. Of course, Kemi Badenoch over the weekend was pressing for more, as I think was Helen Waitley from the Conservative Party. But let's all get together and have a citywide response to this. Green amendment, again, we'll support that, and words mean what words say. The amendment says that the council, the city leader, should write to our MPs suggesting that they oppose this change. And as I've said, I think our MPs need to think about it. It's a big, big change to the welfare system. I think if Liz Kendall had the green paper to herself, it might have been quite a good green paper tackling this issue of the obstacles to returning to work, the obstacles to getting into work, the obstacles to staying in work, which governments of all stripes have attempted. If the extra funding that comes through, I think is £1 billion, a lot of that may be to the combined authority. If it created localised hands-on support for people with these problems, it could make a big difference. The problem is, on top of that, we've got overlaid these huge financial cuts in the system. And as I explained at the outset, they're all laid onto one aspect, and they're laid onto one aspect of the welfare system which is not should not be blocking people from being in work, the personal independent payments, because they are independent. They're not just independence payments, they're independent of whether you are in work or not. They're there to support you in your life and to enable you to lead a decent and a good life. I don't know, I'm not an expert, whether they're working properly or not, but we're not seeing that. We're seeing a target of £4 billion being set, and we're seeing a change in the threshold, a huge change in the threshold, which will exclude about at least a third of those who are currently receiving them from receiving them. And therefore, Therefore, I think we should go with the Green proposal, and we should lobby and ask our MPs to think seriously about this, and we should help gather the evidence of what's happening to people in this city about it and provide that evidence for them. Thank you, Lord Mayor.